We took a sacred oath to keep the storm amulet safe from those who would seize it. We harnessed the power of lightning and became one with the storm. Our forefathers kept the oath, and their forefathers all the way back to the beginning. Chief Mammotus to the Ninja. Hello, I'm Sensei the Dark Master, and in today's video, we shall be covering the tenacious tribesmen of Islanders, known as the Keepers of the Storm Amulet of Wojira, or as they also known, the Keepers of the Amulet, or just most simply, the Keepers. We shall be covering their history, members, political structure, weapons, vehicles, abilities, and weaknesses. Starting with their history, the Keepers' origins are shrouded by the mists of time. However, their first appearance occurred when they, alongside the Merlopians and the first Spinjitzu master, fought against the chaotic sea serpent, Wojira, for the fate of the realm of Ninjago. Sadly, despite fighting bravely from their tribal boats, Wojira easily defeated them. It was only when the first elemental master of water, a Merlopian named Naiad, made the ultimate sacrifice and became one with the sea. She utilized this new power to defeat the serpent, knocking the two amulets it used to control wave and storm from its head, casting it into a deep slumber. Afterwards, the Keepers and Merlopians were each given one of the amulets to guard so that Wojira would never reawaken. The Keepers in particular were given the Storm Amulet to guard, and they did so, setting on what would become known as the Island of the Keepers, literally becoming one with the very storm itself and building stone guardians with the help of the first Spinjitzu master. They did a very good job for some time. At some point, Timothy Batterson, aka Twitchy Tim, was on a balloon tour, blew off course, and got stranded on the island. He was tortured by the numerous natives and wildlife, but eventually got off the island after being struck 12 times by lightning. They did a good job for a time. However, a great beast from the seas emerged. Afraid the serpent Wojira has returned, the Keepers were greatly concerned. However, a mysterious villager gave some advice that maybe if they gave offerings to the serpent, it would go away. So the chief Mammutus decided to begin giving offerings to the serpent that would cause them to go away for some time. These included such things as gold and food. The island's isolation would be breached again when Wu and Mistake went on an expedition led by the infamous explorer Clutch Powers to investigate the place. Of course, the islanders captured them, and they went missing. The ninja concerned decided to go and investigate / find Wu and Mistake, getting Twitchy Tim to help them. After reaching the island, the ninja encountered the Keepers' stone guardians. Lloyd escaped, but the others were captured by the Keepers. The chief then explained their sacred oath and keeps them their prisoners forever while taking Jay away. They decided to sacrifice Jay due to his electric power. Lloyd, with the help of Zippy the Jungle Dragon, freed his friends, though they were captured again by the Keepers after Clutch Powers tried to steal the Storm Amulet, and were forced to watch Jay being consumed by Wojira. However, Lloyd figured out that this quote-unquote Wojira was fake and told the Keepers off. Humbled, with their help, the ninja uncovered the truth that the quote-unquote Wojira was a wooden boat created by and manned by none other than Ronin and a small army of escaped convicts that he originally had been hired to capture. Upon seeing his forces easily defeated, Ronan tries to make a getaway with all his ill gotten treasure, but is stopped when Twitchy slams into his boat, and so Ronan and his crews are arrested. The ninja and the keepers reconcile, with the former even stopping Clutch Powers from stealing the Storm Amulet. In Seabound, they, after much hesitation, gave the amulet to the ninja in order to prevent Kalmar from achieving his goals. Sadly, it was revealed Clutch had swapped the amulet with a fake, and the ninja plus their allies do their best to get to the Explorers Guild and obtain the amulet before Kalmar does. They fail, but in the end, Nia sacrifices herself to stop both Rojira and Kalmar. Now that the history is finished, let us begin to talk about the structure of the tribe. At the top is the chief, which is a hereditary rank that rules over the tribe and is characterized by golden armor instead of the normal straw clothes, a cape, and a large elegant golden crown inlaid with cyan crystals, plus some spider barbs. Though apparently this is a newer phenomenon, as the first chief that fought alongside the first Spinjitzu master lacked these elegant distinctions. Beneath the chief is the second in command, which, true to his name, is the second highest in rank. There was nothing special distinguishing them from other tribesmen, and they could basically be anyone. Beneath this, there are several other ranks slash positions that are roughly equal. First, there are guards that are tasks to guard the storm amulet and perform tasks assigned to by the chief. Then there are the Thunder Keepers, which perform ritual dances and singing, which is taken very seriously. They also call to the storms in order to prevent any outsiders from entering the island of Keepers. Then there are the Rumble Keepers, which are gardeners who preserve the natural balance on the island. Last and least were the servants, which is likely the lowest rank and performed numerous menial tasks to the chief. In terms of basic biology, the keepers were roughly humanoid, with boar slash oni like tusks, sunken in yellow eyes, and skin that was translucent purple, sort of like the element of storm. The sets unfortunately made them a pinkish lavender, which just looks rather weird. Some also appear to have two heads. In terms of abilities, they are comparable to regular humans, though have relative immunity to lightning. With regard to weaponry slash vehicles, the Keepers are relatively primitive, though they did achieve many things. The most common weapons are these spears, which are tipped by a purple spear and can shock people. They also have these elaborate zipline systems. The Keepers only really use one vehicle, that being the battle catamarans for transport. These tribal boats did not actually rely on the wind, instead being powered by the lightning that striked the mast. They have a very distinctive Polynesian vibe, but perhaps the most unique constructions of the villagers are the Stone Guardians. Also called the Stone Golems. They were created as a collaboration between the Keepers and the first Spinjitzu Master in order to help guard the Storm Amulet against evil villains. These three brothers each have a different appearance and have some very interesting abilities. Firstly, the Stone Guardians possess elemental power absorption, which allows them to absorb and release the powers of an elemental master back at them. By standing still, they can stay still long enough to resemble a totem pole to trick enemies via the ability of statue mimicry. The Stone Guardians can access the power of storm when attacking. They can merge on top of each other to generate dark clouds and lightning, shocking their enemies. The third Stone Guardian was unique in its ability to spin so rapidly that it could hover like a helicopter when attacking its enemies. In terms of weaknesses, the Keepers are physically very similar to humans, and because of their isolation, are rather naive and can be taken advantage of easily, just as Ronan did when he led them to give up all their golden food via his fake Wojira trick. What can we learn from the Keepers? Well, we learn the dangers of naivety, that it opens us up to abuse. We must make sure to do our best to defend ourselves against these hucksters, which would take advantage of the slow in the minds. I am Sensei the Dark Master, and join me next time on The Lore of Ninjago. Let's just say my next Lego review may or may not involve these guys.